Risk management is part of your day-to-day interactions with young children. This training is designed to teach you the importance of managing those risk and early child care settings, taking a deep dive into health prevention, basic supervision practices, safety and procedures, accidents and incident reporting, and effective supervision techniques, and much more. By the end of this course, you will be able to understand the importance of risk management and identifying conditions that increase risk, understanding how to report and document childcare injuries, and then establish preventive health and safety measures for supervising young children in a variety of activities. Again, you can take notes in your Elite portal or in your handouts. So let's do a quick pre-assessment. Before we begin, let's see, safety under pressure. Most injuries don't happen because the educators don't care. They happen because something we missed. What do you think gets missed most often in a child care setting? What is one area of supervision you want to strengthen today? The playground, the bathroom, transitions, water play, health practice. What is one thing that you think gets missed? The playground,
The playground.
The playground, the bathroom, playground. Deidre says yes. Okay. Centers, playground, transitions. Transitions is a big one. Yep. I think those transitions from outside of the playground to back inside, that's a big one. That's a big one that we need to be very mindful and very careful, because how many times is in that transition when someone left someone outside? The play area, the playground, and I think sometimes group play area. I think it's a lot the playground, because when we are in a classroom from, let's say, 8 o'clock until it's time to go outside, let's say 10, you have the 10 a.m. schedule to go outside. You have been nonstop since you got in that classroom. And so once they go outside, it's like this, I can relax for a little bit, right? And that's further from the truth, unfortunately. And I know, I was in the classroom for 17 years, day in and day out. And it's hard, especially when you're working with those toddlers, because you go outside and if there's another group out there, like the other toddler group out there sharing the playground with you, and you see another adult, you're like, oh my gosh, thank goodness. Someone to talk to, right? But I think that's why those are some of the areas that get missed, because we tend to lax on our supervision and our engagement during that time. So risk management fundamentals, understanding risk management definition, foundational concepts across early childhood, managing risk when caring for children, practical definition to understand the responsibility and safety. A risk is a situation involving exposure to danger, and our job is to keep children safe at all times. Risk management is the measures taken to avoid injuries and illness by accepting circumstances and common behaviors. That is risk management. And for you directors, owners, it starts with our policies. Our policies are not just there because leadership said so. They're there to keep the children safe and your staff safe and yourself. So risk management does really start with the policies and procedures, the SOPs that you have established in your center. And you, teacher, in the classroom, your job is to know what your SOPs are. Your job is to know what your policies are, because those are there to help protect you And if you're not following them, then you become liable. So when you accept responsibility for other people's children, a certain level of risk is always present. Risk management is intentional planning process that focuses on practical focus areas to reduce harm and increase readiness. Risk management is being proactive. And when you work with children, you have to be proactive. You have to see into the future. If I take them outside and they're working on that gate, I need to be proactive. I need to figure out, either I'm going to tell the kids, hey, today is a little bit different because there are people working on our gate. We are not going to cross X line. We are going to stay on this side of the playground today, right? Or we're not going to use that playground. We're going to use this other playground just for today. But that is being proactive. That is looking into the future. And then it's about safety, prevention, supervision, and preparedness. Identifying potential sources of risk, understanding the danger or loss that could result from these risks, and finding ways to prevent or eliminate the risk from the child care environment. Risk is an important part of learning, but if we see the potential of this child getting harmed physically, then we need to stop it. We need to prevent it. We need to be proactive. So keeping children safe in early education, why safety is top priority for children and adults. Safety refers to the behaviors and practices that protect children and adults from unnecessary harm. It defines safety in clear terms for early childhood settings. The most important priority in early childhood education is the safety of children. Safety is the primary focus for educators and caregivers. Step 1, keep them safe. Step 1, keep them safe so the brain can learn. So even when it's like, well, I'm here to teach them, like, yeah, you still need to keep them safe. They still need to feel safe, because if they don't feel safe, then they're in survival mode. And if they're in survival mode, the brain can't do two things at a time. It can't learn and it can't try to survive. So safety is number 1 priority in all aspects. Safety in families. When families enroll children in the program, they will expect that the caregiver will safeguard their child's well-being, maintain safe facility, toys, and equipment, provide consistent supervision, maintain a clean environment, and provide healthy food options. And this is a part where I would even suggest that it's provide healthy food options and model healthy food, intake and health, modeling healthy habits as adults. And I'm not only talking about food. I work with the school agers, and I had one provider climbing over the fence to go retrieve a balls that they fly over the fence. But on the other side of the fence, it's like it's this thicket, right? It's just nature. And so he's jumping over this fence to go get the ball. And what do the kids see? The kids see, oh, it's, if he does it, I can do it, right? And I spoke to him and I'm like, hey, Mr. So-and-so, I really need you to stop doing that. Oh, yeah, but, the kids really want to play with the ball. And, well, they're playing sports and it goes over. And I'm like, I understand that. So we need to let the children know that if they throw it over the fence, then the game is over. Natural consequence. And 2, you as the adult need to model safe behavior. And what you're doing is not safe. Risk management in action. We're going to watch this video. As you watch the video, what moments stood out to you the most and why? So making sure you guys have audio. because she's super funny.
Their lucky stars this morning after a picture-perfect moment turned into a near tragedy. The Pitton family was on a family vacation to the Oregon coast with cousins from Iowa. They stopped at a state park along Highway 101 to admire the view of the Pacific Ocean. 3 kids posed for a dramatic photo when 3-year-old Elena Pitton tumbled through a fence towards the lip of a 150-foot high cliff.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Elena landed just inches from the edge. A cousin jumped the fence and pulled her to safety.
And it was so scary. And I almost fell way down there, like, whoop. I was shaking, my tongue was shaking, my head was shaking, my arms were shaking, and my legs, my feet too.
Her parents say they're making the tape public in hopes such locations are made more kid-friendly.
Heart pounding and that terrifying feeling that I have never experienced that, just terrifying feeling like that before.
The family says the 3-year-old wasn't hurt, and they have no plans to take legal action over the frightening near tragedy.
That's refreshing. That's very nice.
So scary.
The girl is so cute.
Oh.
So yeah, in the comments, James Shaw says, too far from parents near water, gate is not secure enough to be that far from parents. And that's the thing, friends. We have that observant eye because we work with children. And our centers are made to keep children safe. You know, once you start doing this, the more you do this, the more you become aware of those little nuances. But in real life, and out there in the wild, people are not thinking about the little children. They're not, right? It's the parents' responsibility, it's the adults' responsibility to look at that, of how this situation can potentially be unsafe. And it's our job too, in our centers, to know how to identify those risks. And we can see here that our friend Jamisha can see that. Like she can see where the problem is. It's the gap is too big. But the truth is that the real world is not set for little children. And the truth is, and then we have Mandy says that happened to my daughter on the bleachers. Oh, that is so scary. And like I said, it happens very often because some, parents, that might be their only experience with a developing human being. They might not have another chance to see how a human being grows and develops. You guys are in a very special position that if you've been doing this long enough, you've seen hundreds of children come through your classroom and how they grow and how they develop. And you start to develop that critical thinking, looking at those potential risks for the children. But you have to be intentional. So, risk management reflection. After watching the video, we already reflected on that, so we're not going to do this. Sometimes these slides are just to remind you and prompt you. Accidents, incidents, and injuries are daily bread. Lorna says some of the community playgrounds are not safe as well. That is right, because the people designing them many times are not early childhood educators. They don't know. They just think, oh, this looks cool, we should do it for kids, right? But a lot of people are not thinking with that hat on. Then we have another friend that said, oh, that happened to my niece at the rodeo. She fell through the very top of the bleachers. Oh, that's so scary. Y'all, now we know when we take these kids to the bleachers, we need to keep them close. We need to tell them, don't lean on that. And you know how children, anytime they line up or anything, they start to lean on something. They'll lean on the wall or lean on the railing or something. I always tell the kids, don't lean. Hold your body up straight. You're strong. Hold your body up straight. People are like, why do you tell them that? And I'm like, because I've seen it. I've seen it. They start leaning on it and they start bouncing off of it, and then there's an accident. So I always tell my friends, like, don't lean on that. Stand up straight. Hold your body up straight. So accidents, incidents, and injuries are daily bread. What is an accident? It's an unexpected, unintentional event that may result in injury. Examples include cuts, scrape, bruises, bites, falls. I don't think it's burns, because you shouldn't have anything that burns in your classroom. But let's say burns, because nobody intentionally wants to get burned. Broken bone, neck injuries, and uncontrollable bleeding is what they constitute as accidents. Understanding incidents, what they are. Incident is an irregular event that is not part of your daily routine. Examples include child fighting with another child and a child experiencing an emotional episode, or a very challenging behavior, or a temper tantrum that makes you evacuate, the rest of your class. So, our purpose is to remove the word accident and replace it for unintentional injury. The term unintentional injury can replace accident when referring to injury sustained by a child. Most instances, factors contributing to an accident are preventable. Childhood injuries are most often attributed to environmental hazards, lack of appropriate planning and adult supervision, or the child's immature development. A lot of times, biting is an accident or an incident. What do you guys think? Our friend in the chat is asking. What do you guys think? Biting is an accident or an incident? I don't think you accidentally.
Definitely incident.
Definitely yeah, incident. I don't think you ever accidentally bite someone. That's an incident.
Yeah, I just mentioned that because on the slide it was talking about accidents and then it's bite. That's why.
Biting. It says biting.
No,
it does say bites. Maybe I'm gonna look into that.
Bites. No. That could be it. That could be a bite from an insect or something.
When I read it, I thought it was like an insect bite or an animal bite, not from a child. But good observation. It might, I don't know. I'm going to confirm. So conditions that contribute to unintentional injury, the risk is greater when adults are sleep deprived or not feeling well. Conditions are rushed or planned late in the day. I knew first day of school for my district was Thursday. And we did orientation with the staff. I told them the expectations, how we're going to plan. We have new kindergartners that they're new to the school. They're new to everything. So I needed at least 2 providers per campus to help manage the kindergartners, right? Because they're new and so they didn't know the whole drill. That is being proactive. That is us having a plan. We know we're going to get a whole bunch of new kindergarteners that are new to the campus. Some of them maybe even new to school and now new to my program. So I need to make sure that I give some specific attention to those children and make them feel welcome and make them feel safe and where they have to go. But it was first day of school chaotic. During dismissal, that's when we get our kids. Yes. But did it help to have people specifically for our kindergartners? Also, yes. So it needs to be planned. Adults are are in a heightened emotional state from personal or work matters. If you are in that state, you need to call for support because accidents can happen then. A teacher who is unfamiliar with the children and their routines are present. So subs, floaters, that's when those unintentional injuries can occur. Programs that are short-staffed. Children are not able to play outdoors due to inclement weather. Once that energy starts building, day 1, day 2, day 3, things start getting, behaviors start arising. You start having more challenges. Newly enrolled children who are unfamiliar with the environment, rules, and expectations, like our little kindergartners. And then rules have not been formulated or explained carefully to children. It is an expectation and part of the policy, the after school policy, that they review the commitments every single day. And our commitments are the same in all 5 campuses. Use your walking feet. Use helping hands. Use your words to communicate what you need. Keep your hands, body, and feet to yourself and safe. We use looking eyes, and I think that's it. So they know, and we repeat them, and we have slides for them. If the providers want to pull up the slides, and we go over these expectations every single day. We use the same vocabulary because it creates consistency. Because then if I need one of those providers to go and support another campus, I can move them, and I know that he knows the procedures. He knows the expectations. He knows the language. That's why creating those policies and those standard operating procedures is so important. And when you train your staff, you're giving them the same information, the same vocabulary that you're going to use across the board. Severe injuries must be reported to child care licensing immediately. Examples include uncontrollable bleeding, loss of consciousness, broken bones or limbs, or if the parent takes them to the doctor. If a child gets injured in your center and the parent comes and picks him up and says, I don't know, that looks like a big knot on his head, I'm going to take him to the doctor, you have to self-report. Reminder, you are a state mandated reporter. If you suspect any abuse or neglect of any kind, you are mandated to report it in 24 hours to I think it's the Department of Health and Family. There's a Texas hotline for it and a website, and you have to report to them. Reporting it to your director, you have not fulfilled your responsibility just by reporting it to the director. You have to do it in the hotline or their website. So managing severe injuries, it's immediate reporting and your mandated responsibilities. Very important. Did everyone know this, or is this new information to some of us? By show of hands. New information. It was new to me.
The one where you said if the parent says, oh, his head looks, let me take him to the doctor. I didn't know that.
You have to self-report. That's why in the incident report that comes from Texas Minimum Standards, it says, was the child taken to the doctor? When? Because it's part of the report. Do you have to go to the director as a mandated reporter? No. If you suspect abuse and neglect, the law says you are a mandated reporter, and the law trumps any internal policy your director might have. Is it courtesy to tell your director? Keep her in the loop? Yes, but you don't have to, and you don't have to have their permission to report. You have 24 hours to do that. You can call them or you can go to their website.